Chastity belts. Just the name sparks curiosity, doesn't it? These devices, shrouded in myth and misconception, conjure images of medieval knights, damsels in distress, and a rather uncomfortable approach to relationships. But what's the truth behind these metal mysteries? Were chastity belts really a medieval method for ensuring fidelity? Let's delve into the intriguing world of chastity belts and separate fact from fiction. Imagine a metal contraption locked onto a woman's body, designed to prevent any inappropriate contact. That's the basic and rather unsettling idea behind the chastity belt. The supposed purpose? To safeguard a woman's virginity before marriage, or more commonly, to ensure the fidelity of wives while their husbands were away. It's a concept that raises eyebrows today, and for good reason. The image of the chastity belt as a common medieval practice is, to put it simply, a misconception. While the idea of controlling women's bodies and sexuality has existed throughout history, the chastity belt as we imagine it is largely a product of later centuries. Contrary to popular belief, solid historical evidence for their widespread use in the Middle Ages is virtually non-existent. If chastity belts were so common, where are they all? This is where the story gets interesting. While a few ornate, often spiked metal devices exist in museums, these are generally considered to be later fabrications, likely created as curiosities or even as instruments of torture. Genuine medieval examples, not so much. Section 5. The birth of a myth, racy tales, and Victorian values. In this chapter, we delve into the fascinating intersection of storytelling and societal norms, exploring how certain myths, particularly those surrounding chastity belts, came to be entrenched in the collective consciousness of the Victorian era. So how did this myth take hold? The answer lies in the power of storytelling, a tradition that has shaped human culture for centuries. In the Victorian era, storytelling was not just a form of entertainment, but a means of reinforcing societal values and norms. The answer lies partly in storytelling and shifting social attitudes. During this time, literature and oral tales were instrumental in reflecting and shaping public opinion. The Victorian period was marked by a strict moral code, particularly concerning issues of sexuality and gender roles. Stories that featured chastity belts played into these anxieties, offering a way to discuss and control female sexuality within the bounds of acceptable discourse. Bawdy tales from the Renaissance and later periods often featured chastity belts as a plot device, adding a titillating element to the narrative. These stories were passed down through generations, evolving with each retelling. By the time they reached the Victorian era, they had taken on new meanings, reflecting the era's preoccupations with purity and morality. By the Victorian era, with its emphasis on morality and female purity, the idea of the chastity belt became a potent symbol, reflecting anxieties about female sexuality and control. The chastity belt, whether real or imagined, served as a metaphor for the societal constraints placed on women. It symbolized the lengths to which society would go to ensure that women adhered to the prescribed moral standards. This myth, perpetuated through literature and storytelling, reinforced the notion that female virtue needed to be protected and controlled, often by male authority figures. The myth of the chastity belt also found its way into Victorian literature and art, further cementing its place in the cultural imagination. Writers and artists of the time used the chastity belt as a symbol to explore themes of purity, control, and the tension between desire and societal expectations. These depictions, while often exaggerated, played a significant role in shaping the public's perception of the past and the role of women within it. In conclusion, the myth of the chastity belt is a fascinating example of how storytelling and societal values intersect. It highlights the power of narrative in shaping our understanding of history and the ways in which cultural anxieties can be projected onto objects and symbols. The Victorian era, with its complex attitudes towards sexuality and morality, provided fertile ground for such myths to flourish, leaving a lasting impact on our cultural heritage. If you enjoyed this exploration of Victorian values and myths, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more intriguing historical insights. Thank you for watching. Section 6. Intriguing but fake. Examples. Museums and misinterpretations. Museums occasionally display objects labeled as chastity belts, which only adds fuel to the fire. However, closer examination often reveals these items to be misidentified. Some were likely orthopedic devices, while others might have been ceremonial objects with symbolic rather than practical purposes. Section 7. Modern historians speak out, separating fact from fantasy. Modern historians, armed with rigorous research methods, have largely debunked the myth of the medieval chastity belt. They point to the lack of solid evidence, the impracticality of such devices, and the likelihood that they were later inventions fueled by fantasy and changing social mores. Section 8. The power of storytelling. Why myths endure. If the historical evidence is so flimsy, why does the myth of the chastity belt persist? One word: stories. Stories have an incredible power to transcend time and space, embedding themselves into the fabric of our collective consciousness. They are passed down from generation to generation, evolving and adapting, yet retaining their core essence. Myths and legends have a way of capturing our imaginations, drawing us into worlds that are both familiar and fantastical. They speak to our deepest fears, desires, and aspirations, often reflecting the values and concerns of the societies from which they originate. The myth of the chastity belt, for instance, resonates because it touches on universal themes. The image of the chastity belt, however inaccurate, taps into timeless themes of love, betrayal, power, and control. It evokes a sense of mystery and intrigue, prompting us to question the nature of relationships and the lengths to which people will go to protect or possess what they hold dear. This myth, like many others, serves as a mirror, reflecting our own complexities and contradictions. It's a tale that, despite its flaws, continues to fascinate. The endurance of such myths is a testament to the enduring power of storytelling. They remind us that, while facts and evidence are crucial, the stories we tell and retell shape our understanding of the world and ourselves. In the end, myths endure because they speak to the human experience in ways that are both profound and enduring. Section 9. Beyond the Belt, Exploring Real Medieval Attitudes. While chastity belts might be a myth, medieval attitudes toward sexuality were undoubtedly complex. Religion played a significant role, and the Church promoted chastity before marriage. However, it's essential to avoid imposing modern values on the past. Medieval society had its own set of norms and beliefs, which were often quite different from our own. Section 10. The enduring appeal chastity belts in popular culture. From literature and film to comedy sketches and stage productions, chastity belts have become a cultural shorthand for controlling female sexuality. They pop up in unexpected places, often played for laughs or to make a point about societal expectations. Section 11. A word of caution: questioning historical narratives. The tale of the chastity belt serves as a reminder to approach historical narratives with a critical eye. It's easy to accept sensational stories at face value, but digging deeper often reveals a more nuanced and fascinating reality. Don't be afraid to question, to research, and to uncover the truth for yourself. Section 12. Unlocking the Truth. Your journey continues. So, there you have it. We've delved into the depths of history, uncovering the layers of myth and reality that surround the chastity belt. The chastity belt, that enduring symbol of female repression, is largely a fabrication, a product of myth-making and changing social anxieties. It was never as widespread or as commonly used as popular culture would have us believe. But the journey doesn't end here. Our exploration of history is an ongoing adventure, filled with endless discoveries and revelations. History is full of surprising twists and turns. Each artifact, each document, each story we uncover adds a new piece to the puzzle of our past. By questioning, exploring, and engaging with the past, we unlock a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. It's through this process that we learn not just about historical events, but about the human experience itself. Every question we ask, every piece of evidence we examine, brings us closer to the truth. And in that truth, we find a reflection of our own lives, our own struggles, and our own triumphs. So, as we continue this journey together, remember that history is not just a series of dates and events. It's a living, breathing narrative that we are all a part of. By engaging with history, we become part of that narrative. We contribute to the ongoing story of humanity, adding our own chapters and perspectives. So let's continue to question, to explore, and to engage with the past. Let's unlock the truths that history holds, and in doing so, unlock the truths within ourselves. Your journey continues, and with each step, you bring the past to life. Together, we will uncover the stories that shape our world and our understanding of it. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep discovering.